Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting after Carlisle lost 2-0 at home to Exeter City in what is honestly a really disappointing result for me. I went into this game thinking that we would win. I with the performance of the second half against Wigan, I'll be honest, I was really optimistic going into this match. I was confident, and at the end of the day we just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net and we ended up coming away losing the game. Look, what that game was for me is in League 2, that game would have finished 0-0. But because we've stepped up a level, if we fail to capitalise on our own chances, when we're going to get pegged back, we're going to get beat. Because that was the problem today. We played better than Exeter, I think, especially in the first half. We should have gone in at 45 minutes, at least 1-0 up. Sean Maguire, I thought, had a really good game. Ryan Edmondson didn't really do too much. We missed some big chances. John Mellish had one. There was a few. Paul Huntington from a corner. Sam Lavelle from a corner had a good chance. And look, when I think back to the Oxford game when we didn't create any chances whatsoever, this is definitely a distinct improvement from that. It's a massive improvement from Harrogate. But if we can't finish our chances, we're going to get beat in this division, because if we don't score, the likelihood is the opposition will. There isn't many 0-0s at this level, especially for a newly promoted team, and it's going to be tough. I think there has been a bit of an overreaction from social media because we've just come off a promotion season where we're used to winning every week, and that isn't what's going to happen now. We need to get used to losing fairly regularly because we're going to be in a relegation battle this season, and that was always the expectation from the club, I think, and from most of the fans. We're not going to win every week, and we're not going to even get points every week. We need to sort of accept that we're not going to be going into games expecting to beat the opposition 2 or 3-0. What we need to do is continue to play the way we're playing. We are playing well. We're creating chances. We just need to start scoring. And if we start scoring, I think we'll do absolutely fine. But until then, I think we're in a little bit of trouble. I don't think we'll go down. I think, aside from the squad, I think we probably have a similar level of squad to the teams that will end up going down. But we've got a far superior manager than pretty much every team in this division, in my opinion. And that's what will keep us up. Paul Simpson's excellence. It was Paul Simpson's substitutions that won us a point against Wigan. And I've seen him get blamed a little bit for this game, for the result, because both the goals happened after the substitutions. Now, for me, them subs had to be made. I wouldn't have took Maguire off, and he didn't. So I agree with him on that one. But he needed to add fresh legs because it's a step up in fitness, it's a step up in intensity going into League 1, and some of these players aren't quite adapting as well as I'd liked. There's a lot of players out there that seem to be running to the ground. Paul Huntington being one of them, who I don't think we have the depth to sub off, and you don't sub off centre back unless you absolutely have to. But he's one of the examples of a player that hasn't really caught up with the fitness. And look, he's played at a higher level than League 1. He's played in the Championship for a good portion of his career. However, at the age he's at now, it's a strange one for me. I definitely wouldn't be playing him Saturday, Tuesday, like we have done. I would definitely be sort of inclined to play a Ben Barkley in the Tuesday games, maybe at Wigan, or even today if you want to play him against a stronger side in Wigan. I just don't think he's at the level of fitness. It's not even fitness wise. At that age, it's just that your body can't handle playing that many games in a row, and I think it is evident with him. We didn't play him at Harrogate, which I thought was a smart decision. And yeah, it's a tough one with Huntington. But even then, you look at the midfield; they're looking a bit leggy. Callum Guy, I thought, had an excellent game, had to be taken off because he ultimately looks a bit tired, and you could argue that it was to go and try and win the game, putting Taylor Charters on in place of him, a more attacking player than Callum Guy. But I'm not sure. I think we will be fine at the end of the day. I think Paul Simpson said in his interview today that they are looking for more strikers to bring into the club, which I completely agree with and understand. they said they've been looking for a while now, and that it is difficult getting that kind of player in because they're in such high demand. But I believe they'll get somebody in, whether it's from the National League, whether it's from League Two, whether it's a oldish player from the Championship, or being released by League One. You know, Andy Carroll's just become available. I put a post out on Twitter, and it seems to be divided 50-50 whether Carlisle fans would take Andy Carroll at the minute. But there are options at striker out there, and I think we will bring one in by the end of the transfer window. Whether that'll fix our problems, I don't know, because I think Sean Maguire, as he showed today, shows a lot of quality, and I would have him as one of the two up front. Ryan Edmondson, I firmly believe, can be League One level if he has a good game. I think he can be developed into a good player. You know, a lot of the players Simpson's brought in, your McCalmons, your Edmondsons, they're players that he wants to develop. He's brought them in because they're young and can still grow into better players. So turning on them now, this early on in the season, a few games into a new league, isn't helpful. And Ryan Edmondson for me is a good player, but I think certain portions of the fan base are turned on him far too quickly. He's a youngish player that will get better, and he will adapt to this level. I think he played better today than he has done in any of the League One games so far. He had a few chances, and once he gets that first goal, in my opinion, I think he'll flourish in League One. Same with Sean Maguire. Sean Maguire, he's my man of the match today, and he just needs that first goal to get him going. And I'm going to talk about the goals now, and the first one for me, I don't think is entirely anything to worry about. It's it's second stage of play from a corner outside of the box through a crowd of people. 99 times out of 100, that just gets a foot in the way of it and it doesn't go in. But it's a perfect strike that goes into the bottom corner. Thomas Ollie can't do anything about it. He can't see it till it's far too late. Maybe he can come and claim the initial cross, but for me, this isn't one I can pin on Thomas Hawley. It's just a very good goal from Exeter. The second one is a bit more Carlisle's fault. It's poor defending from, the whole of the back line. I think it starts Sam Lavelle, but it's a poor goal, and it gets past our defenders far too easily. It's very poor defending. But the player that scores it shouldn't have been on the pitch. The referee books there. They put him at left back, but he didn't start at left back. He was like an attacking winger sort of thing. Their number 7 he was. Puts in a bad tackle early on, gets a yellow card. Puts in another bad tackle that in any other game, if he hadn't been booked, it would have definitely been a yellow. But the referee for me is just too scared to send a player off. He doesn't want the trouble that comes along with that, so he doesn't book him. He should and send him off, which should have happened. He should have been sent off. He shouldn't have been on the pitch to score the goal. But like Paul Simpson said in his interview, that isn't why we lost the game today. For me, it's a red card. But again, that's not why we lost today. It's because we couldn't take our chances. Even with him on the pitch, I don't think we'd have scored. I think we could still be playing now, and we wouldn't have scored. We just didn't have that final clinical touch. But it'll come. I believe in Paul Simpson. I believe in this group of players. That the vast majority of them were there when we got promoted. I trust them. I just trust that things will go well. I think we showed signs of, good build-up play, some good, pass and play from us today. There's signs of a good team in this, and I don't think there's anything to worry about just yet. We go to Port Vale. It's an excellent away day. It's one I'm looking forward to. It's my personal favourite away day, just as a football ground. Port Vale away is excellent. It was my first away day. I'm looking forward to going back there. And yeah, let's just hope because once we get our first 3 points, I think a lot of nerves will be settled. And let's hope that comes next Saturday. But yeah, for now, that's going to be everything. Thank you for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.